We have now Dr. Aditi Pujari, who's from Sunaina Oculoplastic Surgeons, Solapur, who's going to give her valued inputs to what we are already learning.
Good evening all. First of all, I would like to thank the AIOS ARC team and Dr. Chitra madam to give me the opportunity to interact with you all. So my case is a 65 years old female who came with complaints of left eye irritations in several months. She had history of multiple sittings of epilation from the left upper eyelid, which was followed by 2 sittings of laser lash removal, which was done by some dermatologist for permanent lash removal. And then the patient was referred to me for upper lid entropion correction. So on examination, the patient showed a few signs of upper eyelid entropion with absence of lashes, which I thought was a sequelae of the repeated epilation and the laser procedure. On upgaze, it shows the similar thing, but on lid eversion, it was something different. So on lid eversion, there was rounding of lid margins with effacement of the meibomian gland orifices. There was definitely absence of lashes with telangiectasia. But these 2 findings, we were not sure if they are effect of some primary lid pathology or as a sequelae of the previous procedures which was done. So the clinical impression, obviously, with the clinical features was left upper lid lesion to rule out sebaceous gland carcinoma because of the atypical things which were atypical in entropion but typical of SGC. Obviously, we had kept a rare possibility of sequelae of laser lash removal because personally I had not seen eyelid which how it looks post laser lash removal. So plan of treatment was incision biopsy of the upper eyelid lesion to prove or rule out the carcinoma and further treatment as per histopathology. So histopathology of the incision biopsy as expected was poorly differentiated sebaceous gland carcinoma. So the patient was taken for a definitive surgery of complete excision of the lesion with 4 mm clinically clear margins, which was confirmed on frozen section. And in the same sitting, the patient was taken for lid reconstruction, which was done by Cutler-Beard lid sharing flap. So this was the patient pre-op. This was after the stage 1 of the Cutler-Beard procedure, and this was post Cutler-Beard procedure stage 2. So coming to the sebaceous gland carcinoma, as we know, it is the most common eyelid malignancy in Asian Indian population. It is considered among the most lethal of all ocular adnexal tumors. That is, as it is very aggressive local behavior and metastasis. It can also metastasize to regional lymph nodes. So when do we actually suspect SGC? It's actually rounding of lid margins, loss of lashes as seen in these cases, telangiectasia, and histopathologically it was proved. Similar case was referred, you can actually see the suture which was done by some referring ophthalmologist. So these are the cases which we should not miss, because if we treat them in time, we can actually do it with a simpler reconstruction techniques and less invasive or less complex surgeries. These kind of cases where we actually see the lid mass, the important thing is to evert the eyelid, because eversion will give idea towards the actual size of the lesion, which is more obvious on lid eversion.
1 minute.
Common masquerade is recurrent chalazion at the same site even after the incision and curettage. On lid eversion, it can actually give some clue about the actual pathology. So sometimes on lid eversion, you can actually see the previous incision and curettage marking also. So these kind of large chalazia, which actually go beyond the tarsal margin, we should suspect a malignancy rather than a simple chalazion. These kind of lesions where, these kind of lesions where you can actually see the increased vascularity will give a clue towards the etiology, and eversion will make the clinical impression more obvious. Sorry. Just a minute. I just need. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Cannot move my slides. Yeah. Unilateral blepharitis, which is not responding to the treatment, we should suspect sebaceous gland carcinoma. Incision biopsy will give a definitive diagnosis about it. Unilateral blepharoconjunctivitis not responding to the treatment should undergo a MAP biopsy where we take actual 17 small bits of biopsy because the management is going to change if it is confirmed that the whole of the conjunctival surface is involved.
Time.
So, yeah. So how can we actually help to avoid the delay in diagnosis in these cases? We should have high index of clinical suspicion. We should always send chalazion for histopathological examination if we actually tend to see some solid material instead of a simple paste-like thing which we commonly see in the chalazion incision curettage. We should have low threshold for biopsy. MAP biopsy, we should not hesitate to do whenever it is needed. It is important to communicate with the pathologist, and we should send few specifications while sending the specimen. And I would re-emphasize the thing on eversion of the eyelid while doing a clinical examination. So thorough clinical examination with good reconstruction plan will definitely give you a very good cosmetic as well as functional outcome in these cases. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I have one question before Dr. Shruti can take over.
Yeah.
After resection, what is the role of frozen section?
Frozen section basically will give a clue about if we have completely removed the tumor. So, because if some pagetoid spread is there, we need to be sure about complete excision of the tumor mass, as well as we can safely do the reconstruction procedure in the same sitting. We need not wait for the permanent sections, because more than 90% of the times the frozen section will actually correspond to the permanent histopathological sections and report margin clearance.
Thank you very much. Dr. Shruti, you have anything to add? Dr. Shruti?
It was a very interesting talk, Dr. Aditi, and the points taken, you have to avert the lid and see, and to see if there's anything abnormal, and then take it from there. Dr. Lakshmi, do you have any comments to make on this? Dr. Lakshmi, madam?
No, nothing. Thank you.
Dr. Shruti, just a couple of points, if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice presentation. I think all the points have been very beautifully highlighted. Just need to emphasize that in a patient with chronic unilateral red eye and a pagetoid form of the tumor, you may not have the typical lid mass, and it may just be a velvety swelling overall even, in which case you don't need a MAP biopsy. Actually, you need to biopsy any abnormal part of the conjunctiva which is thickened, and that itself will give the diagnosis. So chronic unilateral red eye, blepharitis, blepharoconjunctivitis, which does not improve with time, and the patient changes doctors and drops. Sometimes we see the patient after 3 years or 4 years of the disease. So that's again something which we need to keep in mind and take care, because that's a life-saving thing to treat the patient early. Thank you.
Thank you.